Well, the cat's finally out of the bag. The Canon 6D Mark II is finally being announced today, and a lot of the rumors have been true, and then some of them really haven't been. So let's take a look at the specs, shall we? The Canon 6D Mark II has a brand new 26 megapixel full frame sensor. This sensor is most likely made by Canon, but we didn't actually ask who made it. Sony doesn't have one, so I guess it's really fair to assume that Canon is the one making it. One of the biggest things that's brand new to the Canon 6D Mark II from the original 6D is this new vari-angle LCD screen. This LCD screen is touchscreen capable, and when you are shooting with it in live view mode, you can utilize dual pixel CMOS AF. Other cool things about the camera, like the original 6D, it's weather sealed. So this is Canon's 6D Mark II with the 11 to 24, and it is raining out here in Yellowstone, and the camera is actually surviving pretty well. There's a quiet shooting mode. Now you can shoot at up to 6.5 continuous frames per second, which arguably is more than most people need. There's built-in Wi-Fi still, there's Digix 7 processor, you can shoot from ISO 100 to 40,000 if you want. Additionally, there are 45 autofocus points around the center, and all of them are cross-type. Then there is the 4K time-lapse movie mode, and then there is the 1080p 60p HD video mode.
Bubbling.
Yep, there isn't any 4K video output on the 6D Mark II. A few weeks back, I got to play with the 6D Mark II with a number of other journalists in Yellowstone National Park that's based in Montana, here in America. It's a beautiful camera, it feels really nice in the hand. I'm actually an original 6D owner. The 6D Mark II feels sort of like the Canon 5D Mark III, but not as kind of tough and rugged, and I guess the best word to say is manly, actually, for the Canon 5D Mark III. It still feels a little bit more elegant, and it's kind of the difference between the Canon 5D Mark II and the 5D Mark III. When the 5D Mark II came out, it had this really nice, elegant feel, kind of like a S1 medium format camera, or the S2 rather. And the Canon 5D Mark III is quite more rugged, beastly. It's really meant to do a lot of work. When you hold the Canon 6D Mark II, what you really notice is the vari-angle LCD screen. The vari-angle LCD screen is really cool when you're trying to get into a different angle, or you're trying to capture something from a different perspective. It's great for when you're working with a tripod, or when you're working with something like the new Platypod. Those are the kind of flat surfaces that you're supposed to attach a ball head onto, and then you just place it wherever you want to. There's supposed to be a replacement for the tripod, and in that case, the Canon 6D Mark II can work out very well. Personally, I don't really care very much about the Canon 6D Mark II having 4K video. That's just me, though. I mean, a whole bunch of other photographers will really care about it. But you can also use this as kind of like a backup camera to something like your 5D Mark IV, or your 1D, or 5DS, or something else like that. The Canon 6D Mark II has a lot of really great features to it. Like, for example, there are the 45 autofocus points, which are all cross-type, and they're all towards the center. Now, them being all towards the center may annoy a whole bunch of photographers, especially if you're one of those that uses mirrorless cameras and you really love moving your focusing point all the way out to the edges. But if you are a DSLR shooter and you don't mind a little bit of focusing and recomposing, there isn't really going to be a whole lot of a problem. Like its predecessor before it, the Canon 6D Mark II isn't really being targeted to professional photographers. Instead, it's being targeted as like an entry-level full-frame DSLR camera. The way that it was kind of positioned is Canon had this graph they were showing us at the meeting when we first got to play with the Canon 6D Mark II, and it actually seemed like the Canon 7D is being slotted above the Canon 6D Mark II, even though the 6D Mark II is a lower number. And when you look at that in terms of Canon's naming conventions, the 1D series is the flagship, and then it's the 5D series, and then it's the 6D, and then the 7D. Yet the 7D is being considered as a higher-end camera than the 6D Mark II. Why? I'm not really sure, to be honest, but I'm sure that maybe that was a glitch in the presentation they were showing us, or maybe they're actually being legitimately real about that. I got the chance to spend maybe around 4 or 3 days with the Canon 6D Mark II, and it's a really nice camera, really feels nice in the hand, but I mean, personally these days I really prefer mirrorless cameras. The reason why is because I really need an EVF because of the way my vision works, and because they're a lot more compact. So it's more lightweight to work with. They take up less space in a camera bag, so I can put more lenses, or I can put more, in the case of Sony, batteries, or I can put more flashes. Canon's lenses, though, do still make quite the impression. They feel very nice on the camera. They're great with rendering skin tones. There are a lot of advantages still with working with the Canon camera system, but I'm not sure I'm going to upgrade to the Canon 6D Mark II. However, at the time that I'm saying that, I don't have a full final production review unit in my hands. We were playing with a beta unit when we got to test it, and even that, they were very specific about us saying that this was a pre-production unit, and that's what we were playing with. I'm going to have to get the Canon 6D Mark II in my hands later on and finally get to play with it, and when I do, then I'll be giving more thorough feedback. Guys, thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it. Subscribe here to the Phoblographer on YouTube. Personally, I don't really like making videos. I'm going to try to make more in the future, though, because apparently some of you guys like it. Alright, have a good one. Take care.